Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kinberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. Well, some novels don't really focus so much on a crime as they do on a mystery. To show you what I'm talking about, let's turn today's spotlight on Michael Campling's A Study in Stone. Dan Corrigan is burnt out from the pressures of his London corporate job. He's more than ready for a break, so his sister offers him the use of a home she owns in the small Devonshire town of Emberville. At first, he's not at all sure he's made the right decision. There's no Wi-Fi signal at the house, very little on television, and only one pub. He's on the point of changing his mind when he meets one of his new neighbors, former teacher Alan Hargreaves. One day, he and Hargreaves are having a coffee at a local coffee shop. The owner shows them the shop's claim to fame, a small well with coins in it. It's said there was an ancient well in the area, and the coffee shop even has some ancient relics. The shop also has a tablet with an odd inscription that piques Corrigan's interest. Mostly to give himself something to do, Corrigan decides to try to decode the inscription. Hargreaves is interested too, and the two of them set out to start to trace the slab's origin and decrypt the inscription. Finding out the truth isn't going to be easy, though. First of all, it's a challenge to work out what the inscription means and who wrote it. Things don't get easier when Corrigan and Hargreaves do learn who wrote the inscription. It has to do with local history, and several of the people who could help or give information don't want the truth to come out. It dates from World War I, but memories are long, and the same families have lived in the area for several generations. So Corrigan and Hargreaves don't get a lot of help. Even the cafe owner who first showed the slab to them becomes hostile. But they do get a little bit of assistance, and bit by bit, they find out the truth about the inscription and an important piece of history from the town's past. So what are the elements that hold this story together? What keeps the plot going? Well, as I said, this is actually more of a detective story than a crime novel. In fact, there's probably an argument that there's not really a crime in it, although you could debate that. Without spoiling the story, I can say that the plot's focus is really the way that Corrigan and Hargreaves find out the answers to their questions. In that sense, it's a puzzle mystery. Readers who enjoy working out puzzles will appreciate this. Part of finding out the truth in this case is the decoding of the inscription, as well as the uncovering of the history of the town. Campling explores both of these processes, and we get to see how a code can be cracked, as well as how amateur historians find out information from the past. And there is an element of history here. Readers who enjoy looking into history and finding out things from the past will be interested in the World War I connections in this story. It's a local story, too, with individual experiences in the war rather than a list of battles, generals, dates, and so on. So we learn about local families and their involvement in the war. We also see how even 100 years later, the war still generates passion, it generates emotion, it still resonates. Another element in the novel is the small town Devonshire setting. It's a contemporary novel, so it's not a Miss Marple style novel with village bazaars and so on, and Corrigan soon learns not to mistake these people for a bunch of yokels. These people are modern, have Wi-Fi, are interested in the larger world, and so on. That said, though, this is a small pub and some shops sort of town with small town characters. A Study in Stone is a cozy mystery, although you couldn't really call it light and frothy. It features two amateurs who simply want to find out some truths that are buried in history, and takes place against a small town Devonshire background. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kinberg. Thanks for watching.